Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. Today I am going to be reading to you the history of the caste system. Hey guys, not sure what happened there. It stopped recording. But anyways, I'm going to be reading to you today the history of the caste system. It's a News ELA article. Scroll down here. We've got a graphic there. And then when I'm done, I will flip over to the caste system questions, which are in a Google form, as always, that you'll fill out and then respond here. All right, here we go. The history of the caste system. People who follow the Hindu religion can probably best explain the caste system, which is how Indian society used to be structured. He or she might tell the story of Brahma, a god. Brahma had 4 heads and 4 hands and was worshipped as the creator of the universe. According to ancient texts, Brahma divided Indian society into 4 separate groups. Just to make sure that we're all on the same page, when they say Indian, they're talking about the country of India, not Native Americans. Okay, so according to ancient texts, Brahma divided Indian society into 4 separate groups. Priests and teachers were created from Brahma's mouth, rulers and warriors from his arms, merchants and traders from his thighs, and workers and peasants from his feet. Others believed India's caste system was based on biology. This is the idea that all living things are born with a particular set of qualities. Some inherit wisdom and intelligence, others get pride and passion, and others are stuck with less fortunate traits. The traits you are born with remain with you throughout your life. What does caste mean? Today, the term caste is used to describe societies that are layered. These layers are based on hereditary groups. The caste you are born into will determine whether you are seen as a privileged person or as unclean. The term caste is used not only in South Asia, but throughout the world. The origins of the caste system. There are different beliefs about how the caste system began. One theory says the Aryans, a group of people from Central Asia, invaded South Asia and introduced the way of life. They did this as a way of maintaining control. The Aryans decided which people would be in which castes. People were born into, worked, ate, married, and died with these castes. They could not move up in society. In the 1800s, some Europeans said that they were descended from the Aryans. They also said that Aryans were really from Europe, but before they spread around the world and mixed with other people. These Europeans said the Aryans were a race, and that proved that European languages and cultures were superior to others. This idea was later supported by Nazi leader Adolf Hitler. He believed light-skinned people from Europe were racially superior to dark-skinned people from the rest of the world. This is how Hitler justified killing millions of people. Other scholars believe there was no Aryan invasion from the north. Today, it is unclear who the Aryan were or where they lived. However, it is generally agreed that they alone did not create South Asia's caste system. Time for class. In ancient India, people were grouped according to their jobs. These groups were known as varnas. Hereditary groups within the varnas were known as jatis. Some people believed the existence of these groups was racist, but this is not true. Varnas are not racial groups. They are classes. They are groupings based on a person's job. 4 Varna categories were created to organize society. Spiritual leaders and teachers were called Brahmins. Warriors and rulers were called Kshatris. Merchants and producers were called Vaishyas, and laborers were called Sudras. And then there's a picture of it there. You can see at the top here, the Brahmins down to the Shudras, and then this category all the way down here, untouchables, which is what we're about to read about. The untouchables. In addition to the Varnas, there is a 5th class in Hinduism. It was made up of outcasts. These were people who did all the dirty work. They were referred to as outcasts or untouchables because they carried out the miserable tasks associated with disease and pollution. These tasks included cleaning up after funerals, dealing with sewage, and working with animal skin. Brahmins were considered symbols of cleanliness. Untouchables were symbols of pollution. Physical contact between the two groups was prohibited. Brahmins followed this rule completely. They felt they needed to bathe if even the shadow of an untouchable fell across them. Struggling against tradition. Oopsie. The political and social force of the caste system has not disappeared completely, and caste is still a strong part of some people's identities in India. However, the Indian government has officially outlawed caste discrimination. Indian leaders such as Mohandas Gandhi were a big part of this effort. They urged the government to loosen the rules that prevented contact between the castes. Gandhi renamed the untouchables Harashans. This means people of God. In recent years, the untouchable have become a politically active group. They have adopted the name Daltis, which means those who have been broken. All right, so going over to the Google form, here are the questions. Name, core. Question 1. Read the selection from the section Untouchables. Brahmins were considered symbols of cleanliness. Untouchables were symbols of pollution. Physical contact between the two groups was prohibited. Brahmins followed this rule completely. They felt they needed to bathe if even the shadow of an untouchable fell across them. Which sentence from this selection best supports the conclusion that the caste system worked to keep classes separate? Brahmins were considered symbols of cleanliness. Untouchables were symbols of pollution. Physical contact between the two groups was prohibited. Brahmins followed this rule completely. Question 2. Read the introduction, paragraphs 1 through 4. You can just rewind and listen to me read it. Which sentence from the section shows how Hindus believe the caste system began? Brahma had 4 heads and 4 hands and was worshipped as the creator of the universe. According to ancient texts, Brahma divided Indian society into 4 separate groups. Others believed India's caste system was based on biology. The traits you were born with remain with you throughout life. Question 3. What is the relationship between the theory of the Aryan and the caste system? The Aryans might have invaded India, but they did not invent the caste system. The Aryans did not invade India, but they did create the first caste system. The Aryans invaded all of South Asia because they wanted to introduce the caste system. The Aryans invaded India because they wanted to stop different races from mixing. And lastly, why are some people like Mohandas Gandhi against the caste system? They want to keep it, but give the Varnas new names. They think that people need individual identities. They think the government should make fewer rules. They believe it causes discrimination. Remember, as always, you can rewind or replay any part of this or stop and pause as you need to.